This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday for today, July 6th. He may not be a glamorous hockey player, but he is a New York Ranger, and I kind of want to suck up to the Ranger fans of Boucher Underground. Anyway, he played 12 years in the NHL for 4 teams. He was part of MSG's coverage of the New York Rangers for 11 years. He was born and raised in Sudbury. His name is Ron Duguay, who is 66 years old and 67 years old and a superstar. Not just for his hockey career, but for other things. Anyway, so Ron Duguay was born and raised in Sudbury, Ontario, and would play for Sudbury in the OHL. Well, the OHL, well, its predecessor, the Ontario Major Junior Hockey League, before it became the OHL. From 73 to 77, he was huge for Sudbury. They got to the OHL finals, losing to Hamilton in 6 games and losing the chance to compete in the 1976 Memorial Cup. So for the 1977 World Juniors, he was selected on the team, putting up 5 points in 5 games. Now, the World Juniors were a lot different back then than they are now, with the fact that Canada would pick a club team and would add some players and all that. So that's the huge thing about it. So Canada had Dale McCourt, John Anderson, and Dave Hunter on that team. I think Canada practically just, yeah, I don't know what club team it was, but yeah. So the Rangers, with the 13th pick in the 1977 NHL Amateur Draft, said, screw it, let's take Ron Duguay and all that. Well, the Rangers had 2 first-round picks. They had the number 8 pick via St. Louis and took Lucien Debois, a right winger from the Quebec League. And then with their second pick, they picked up from Los Angeles. They took Ron Duguay from Sudbury, which was huge and all that. I mean, the Rangers didn't make a bad move. Unfortunately, all those moves would be foreshadow, as with the 15th pick, the New York Islanders in that same draft took Mike Bossy, and Ranger fans groaned that they missed out on Mike Bossy and passed him twice, which was shocking and all that. Well, Duguay made sure that the Rangers made the right decision with his pick, but the Rangers could have taken Bossy instead of Lucien Debois. Anyhow, Duguay would move from Sudbury to the NHL with 20 goals in his rookie campaign and played his first 6 seasons with the Rangers, where he was known for his long hair and flashy behavior. So, anyway, he was hip in the disco era in New York City thing and all that. So Duguay looked pretty impressive for the Rangers and all that. He actually scored the fastest Ranger goal at the start of the game by 9 seconds in 1980 against the Flyers. He was set for injuries. He would actually play for Canada at the Canada Cup in 1981, which saw, 6 nations bring their best team players. Canada, US, Russia, Finland, Sweden, and Czechoslovakia. He would improve in 1982, putting up 40 goals, which was great. He played in the All-Star game. His numbers would dip to 19 goals. Unfortunately, Duguay's play and popularity in New York's nightlife was the end of his tenure in the Rangers. He wanted to make the Rangers more hip and visible in disco era in New York City, so he would sing on Hockey Sock Rock, performed by the late Alan Thicke. Duguay with Phil Esposito, Pat Hickey, Dave Maloney, and John Davidson would be on the record and all that. I don't believe Ron Duguay was part of the Ooh La La Sassoon song in 1979 with the Rangers doing that. Anyway, yeah, he was flashy as a Broadway guy and had troubles. So in June 1983, the Rangers decided to trade him, Eddie Mio, their goalie, and Eddie Johnstone to Detroit for Willie Huber, Mark Osborne, and Mike Blaisdell. Huber and Osborne would be like lesser known Rangers, but still. He went to Detroit, putting up 33 goals in 1984, and it was third overall team with 80 points. And then he would score 89 points for the 85 Red Wings, which was the best offensive season in his career. But once Detroit started struggling, he was traded to Pittsburgh for Doug Shedden. He would only play parts of 2 seasons with the Penguins. And Pittsburgh decided to trade him back to the Rangers January 1987 in exchange for Chris Kontos, which would give the Rangers Ron Duguay with his former teammate Phil Esposito, who's now the GM. And Chris Kontos, that was actually a good move in a sense. So after playing 78 games with the Rangers and scoring 13 goals, he was sent down to the minors. But, he actually decided to finish his career with the 1989 LA Kings, the team that had Wayne Gretzky in the big trade. But yeah, Duguay finished his career playing with Wayne Gretzky. He tried in 1990 with the Leafs to join them, but failed miserably. And then in 92, he tried for the expansion Tampa Bay Lightning, but failed. So he would go to the minor leagues and play in San Diego of the International Hockey League. After a brief stop in Germany with Mannheim, he would actually, he retired from hockey in 92, but 3 years later, he would go to San Diego, the West Coast Hockey League, and would play a few years with them, and then went to Jacksonville of the ECHL before retiring for the second and last time. He actually joined Jacksonville in the Atlantic Coast Hockey League in 2003, playing 6 games as a forward, and then became the head coach and all of that. He was decent. He got them to the 7th Professional Hockey League and all of that. So from 2007 to 2018, he was actually made an analyst for MSG's Ranger games on TV and would be part of Hockey Night Live regularly. The contract expired 2018 was not renewed, which was stupid. Ron Duguay would actually be part of Battle of the Blades, which is the NHL equivalent to Dancing with the Stars. He would be with Barb Underhill to do figure skating. Sudbury retired his jersey. Duguay was part of the alumni game in 2012 and part of the Great 100 Ranger Greats book. He was ranked number 49. Well, of course, that was like 15 years ago. Anyway, Duguay grew up in the greater Sudbury area, known for his long curly hair, which would blow him as he skated without a helmet. Oh yeah, he was part of Ooh La La Sassoon with Espo, Dave Maloney, and Andres Hansenberg. Ooh La La Sassoon. Ooh La La Sassoon. Anyway, Duguay in December 1983 would marry a model by the name of Robin Bobo, having 2 daughters before the marriage ended in divorce. He would actually marry Kim Alexis, another fashion model, in the 90s, and they moved to Florida. Unfortunately, the couple would divorce in 2016. And ironically enough, in 2022, he would be dating Sarah Palin, the VP candidate and Alaska governor who was basically a social media darling and all that. Of course, having to deal with her daughter Bristol being pregnant at such a young age, and also Sarah, giving birth to a kid with Down syndrome by the name of Trick. Anyway, the couple was indeed dating in February 2022. It was seen dining outdoors with Palin. And Duguay actually assaulted a photographer, allegedly. So with his career with the Rangers, Wings, Penguins, Rangers, and the LA Kings, he would put up 274 goals, 620 points in 860 games, In the playoffs, 53 points in 89 playoff games. He didn't really have long playoff run, except for 1979 when the Rangers went to the final. So Ron Duguay was well known for being a fashionista, if you will. He's still a New York Rangers icon, and Blue Shirt Underground can take it for what it's worth. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.